Hi there! I'm Sprinkles, Santa Claus's special elf. Because everything is special with sprinkles. Santa Claus knows you're special too, and he has something to say to you. So listen close as Santa Claus shares holiday cheer with you. You can leave a special message for Santa Claus and get on the nice list at www.santaclaussays.net. Now here is the big man himself, Santa Claus!
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas to the children of the world of all ages and situations in life. Welcome to SantaClausSays.net, where Santa Claus says to you, Santa Claus says, be good for goodness sakes, as we get closer and closer and closer to Christmas Eve, when I'm going to be coming to see you and have a good time with you, the boys and girls of the world. SantaClausSays.net is our time to come together every day during the Christmas time of 2023, where we do three things for you. Three things here on SantaClausSays.net. We bring you Christmas cheer to brighten up your day and enlighten your life. And Sprinkles helps us do that very much, doesn't she? We also tell a Christmas adventure story. And oh boy, you want to stay tuned for today's story. It's about the reindeer. And also we tell and we talk about the letters that Santa Claus gets from you, the children of the world. I get them from every place in the world, and you can contact me by either a email or by a voicemail or by a text message right here at SantaClausSays.net. You simply go to the website Santa Claus Says, and to send me an email, you put SantaClausSays.net/present, and I send you a present in your email. But also, if you want to leave me a voicemail or a text, you can do that there at SantaClausSays.net. And there's also opportunities for Santa Claus to send you a video or have a video chat, a Zoom call with you as well. And you might enjoy that. We are here to help you to have a delightful Christmas season of 2023 every single day. We want to tell you about one more thing. On Saturday, December the 16th, and on Saturday, December 23rd, at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, there is live Breakfast with Santa. That's on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com at Santa Claus Says, and that's where you can find us to have an interactive way where you can ask Santa Claus questions and things like that right there on YouTube. So we invite you to go there and to check that out. And we love you and we will listen to you. Santa Claus will have my cookies and my hot cocoa. And that's really what I'd like for you to leave for me on Christmas Eve as well. Oh, boys and girls, there is our Glockenspiel, our chimes, which tell us, Sprinkles is telling us by ringing the chimes that it's time for our story time. We have a very special story today. All during Christmas time, we're reading The Life and the Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum. And this book the author of this book wrote this book all about the adventures of Santa Claus, but he also wrote a book called The Wizard of Oz, which has lots of adventures in it as well. And many of you have seen the movie or know about the Wizard of Oz. So we want you to listen. You can go back and hear the past episodes of Santa Claus Says to get the entire story, and don't miss any upcoming episodes all the way from today through Christmas when we're reading the story about the adventures of Santa Claus. Today, we are reading about the reindeer. This is chapter 8 from the second section of the book called The Manhood of Jesus, chapter 8. And the title of this chapter is The First Journey of the Reindeer. So let's begin reading. Those were happy days for Claus when he carried his accumulation of toys to the children who had waited for so long. During his imprisonment in the valley, he had been so industrious that all his shelves were filled with playthings. And after quickly supplying the little ones living nearby, he saw that he must now extend his travels to wider fields. Remember the time when he had journeyed with Ak through all the world. He knew children were everywhere, and he longed to make as many as possible happy with his gifts. So he loaded a great sack with all kinds of toys, slung upon his back that he might carry it more easily, and started off on a longer trip than he had yet undertaken. Wherever he showed his merry face, in hamlet or in farmhouse, he received a cordial welcome, for his fame had spread into far lands. At each village the children swarmed about him, following his footsteps wherever he went. And the women thanked him gratefully for the joy that he brought their little ones, and the men looked upon him curiously that he should devote his time to such a queer occupation as toy making. But everyone smiled on him and gave him kindly words, and Claus felt amply repaid for his long journey. When the sack was empty, he went back again to the Laughing Valley and once more filled it to the brim. This time he followed on another road into a different part of the country and carried happiness to many children who never before had owned a toy or guessed that such delightful playthings even existed. After a third journey, so far away that Claus was many days walking the distance, the store of toys became exhausted, and without delay he set about making a fresh supply. From seeing so many children and studying their taste, he had acquired several new ideas about toys. The dollies were, he had found, the most delightful of all playthings for babies and little girls. And often those who could not say dolly would call out for a doll and in their sweet baby talk. So Claus resolved to make many dolls of all sizes and to dress them in bright colored clothing. The older boys and even some of the girls loved images of animals, so he still made cats and elephants and horses, and many of the little fellows had musical natures and longed for drums and cymbals and whistles and horns. So he made a number of toy drums with tiny sticks to beat them with, and he made whistles from the willow trees and horns from the bog reeds and cymbals from bits of beaten metal. All this kept him busy at work, and before he realized it, the winter season came and the deeper snows than usual. And he knew he could not leave the valley with his heavy pack. Moreover, the next trip would take him farther from home than ever before. And Jack Frost was mischievous enough to nip his nose and ears when he undertook the long journey. While the Frost King reigned. The Frost King was Jack's father and never reproved him for his pranks. So Claus remained at his work bench, but he whistled and sang as merrily as ever, and he would allow no disappointment to sour his temper or make him unhappy. One bright morning, he looked from his window and saw two of the deer he had known in the forest walking toward the house. Claus was surprised, not that the friendly deer should visit him, but that they walked on the surface of the snow as easily as if it were solid ground. They walked on the surface of the snow, notwithstanding the fact that throughout the valley the snow lay many feet deep. He had walked out of his house a day or two before and sunk up to his armpits in the drifts. So when the deer came near, he opened his door and called to them, "Good morning, Flossie. Tell me how you're able to walk on the snow so easily." "It's frozen hard," answered Flossie. "The Frost King has breathed on it," said Glossie, coming up, "and the surface is now solid as ice." "Perhaps," remarked Claus thoughtfully, "I might now carry my pack of toys to the children." "Is it a long journey?" asked Flossie. "Yes, it will take me many days, for the pack is heavy," answered Claus. "Then the snow would melt before you get back," said the deer. "You must wait until spring, Claus." Claus sighed. "Had I your fleet feet," he said, "I could make the journey in a day." "But you have not," returned Glossie, looking at her own slender legs with pride. "Perhaps I could ride on your back," Claus ventured to remark after a pause. "Oh, no, our backs are not strong enough to bear your weight," said Flossie decidedly. But if you had a sledge and could harness it to us, we might draw it easily in your pack as well." "I'll make a sledge," exclaimed Claus. "You will agree to draw it. Will you agree to draw me if I do?" "Well," replied Flossie, "we must first go and ask the Canucks, who are our guardians, for permission. But if they consent and you can make a sledge and harness, we will gladly assist you." "Then go at once," cried Claus eagerly. "I am sure the friendly Canucks will give their consent, and by the time you are back I shall be ready to harness you to my sledge." Flossie and Glossie, being deer of much intelligence, had long wished to see the great world, and they gladly ran over the frozen snow to ask the Canucks if they might carry Claus on his journey. That's going to end our story for today. We're going to continue this story the next time when we get together, boys and girls, and we'll continue the story about the reindeer. But we first heard here a little bit about the reindeer and how they begin to have a relationship with Claus. It's exciting, isn't it? And we're going to learn on our next time together how they begin to carry the toys and help Santa Claus to bring toys to all the children of the world, including you. What a wonderful story. We invite you to tune in our next time. We'll go back to the back episodes of Santa Claus Says to get the whole story, and to tune in every day between now and Christmas as we read the entire book about the life and the adventures of Santa Claus. Oh, boys and girls, there's our glockenspiel. We want to remind you that the life and adventures of Santa Claus is brought to you by the good people at the Gutenberg Project. We want to remind you about that. But we also know that the chime means that it's now time to get our letter to Santa. And a reminder that you can send me a letter or a voicemail or a text message. I can get all your messages in all those kinds of ways, and I enjoy hearing them. You just go to SantaClausSays.net, and there's a button there, boop, to leave me a voicemail, boop, a button to leave me a text, or boop, a place to leave me an email at SantaClausSays.net/present, and I will send you a present as well in your email. Now, here's our letter to Santa for today. It goes like this. Dear Santa, this Christmas I only ask for one thing, and they will light my world like nobody else, and I will be up all night waiting to see them under my tree. It's got to be you, Santa. You're the only one who can make my wish come true. I'd like One Direction. For Christmas this year, please. Sincerely, a Directioner, Nancy. What a wonderful request. I don't know about that, if all the boys in the band One Direction will be available, but we hope that we can fulfill everybody's Christmas wish. But here's what we can always say to you, boys and girls, including delightful letters like this. Santa Claus loves to give surprises. So be ready for surprises under the tree from Santa Claus this Christmas of 2023. Remember to write me and give me all your Christmas wishes and tell me the good things you're doing with your life. And I love to hear from you here at SantaClausSays.net. There's our glockenspiel, boys and girls, which means it's about time for us to say goodbye for this episode of SantaClausSays.net. Remember, we come to you every day during the Christmas season of 2023, and we bring you three things. We bring you good cheer for Christmas cheer. We bring you an adventure story about Santa Claus, and we bring you a letter to Santa. We want you to know that you can always contact me at SantaClausSays.net, and we, through voicemail, through text, and through email at SantaClausSays.net/present. And we also have the ability to contact you with a personalized video or a personalized video call, a Zoom call with Santa Claus. You can check all that out at SantaClausSays.net. We'll see you next time here on SantaClausSays.net. Boys and girls, remember to have a Merry Christmas. Be good to your moms and dads and everyone else in your life and your pets and everybody else. And remember that Santa Claus says, be good for goodness sakes. We'll see you next time, boys and girls, here on Santa Claus says.net. Goodbye.
You're special to Santa Claus, just like Sprinkles. Get on Santa's nice list at SantaClausSays.net and watch Santa Claus Says on YouTube. Tell him Sprinkles